Y'all, I love this woman, and I thank her from the bottom of my heart for letting us come and do this. All these, your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and all the meals that has come out of this kitchen, it is probably untelling. And
I kind of wish it kept it down.
Hey everybody, today I'm here with the iconic local sweetheart of the whole county. This is Pearl Harper. We are honored to be here in Pearl's kitchen today because there are so many things that she's known for. Her Spiritually Speaking article that's been written over 50 years, and we're so proud to be able to put that out to you guys when we publish that. And there's lists that just go on and on, but everybody at the church, at the La Follette Church of God, will fight over Pearl's rolls. And so today on this particular episode of the Cooking Show, we want you all to see how Pearl makes her rolls. And Bob's in background supervising, so everybody here is just excited to see how we make these, and I'm going to try myself when I get home. So here we go. Thank you, Pearl, for letting us into your kitchen. So what are we going to do today? How are we going to start?
We're starting with 2 cups of scalded milk and a half a cup of sugar and a half a cup of shortening melted in the milk.
Okay, and when you say scalded milk, you just bring it to a boil.
Bring it to a boil, and what it really does, I don't know.
Oh, makes it special. And it might just help melt the sugar or something maybe.
Okay, now you use, it says 5½ cups of flour. And you want to start with that because too much makes the dough tough.
Oh,
you know.
Okay.
But you can always add more. So then I add most of my flour.
Okay, so you've already sampled that out, and that's 5½ cups.
5½ cups.
Alrighty.
And I put, sort of about half of that. Stir it up good.
So not all of it at once.
No. And then...
Okay, and pause 1 second while you're doing that. I'm going to get my other camera.
I stir that up real good. And then I like to add the yeast. It calls for 2 packs of dry yeast in a 1/3 cup of water. And if you want to buy a box like I do, 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon is a pack.
Okay.
So then I add that. I do this because I want to make sure the yeast is distributed well.
Okay.
And then the recipe calls for a little baking powders, a little soda, and a little salt. And what I think this does is when you keep it longer, you can keep it in the refrigerator and not roll them all out every day. And it's a whole lot like what they call the angel biscuits. Similar.
Okay.
And I have known people getting out a little bit every day and baking them. And I've never tried that, I just bake mine.
How long have you kept it before in the refrigerator?
3 or 4 days.
Okay.
I can tell I'm going to need more flour, so that's...
So Bob, you're the official taster. How do you like these rolls?
I like them.
Have they made you fat over the years?
I'm afraid they have.
But they can keep adding flour till they get it
Till they get to the right consistency.
And now my sister would not make rolls. She said they were always sticky, but you can always add more flour.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I have to do at the last. Old time way.
Well, let's just watch it.
Well, to get the consistency I want.
Because you know somebody else is going to be trying to do this and struggling, and if they see you just getting in there and getting busy, they'll feel a little bit better.
They were used a long time before anything else.
So you usually know about the consistency of that dough when it gets...
And when you put it out on your board to roll it out, if it's too sticky, just add a little more flour. It doesn't bother anything. And I'd rather have it a little sticky than too dry. Now, Kelly Jo, this is it, honey. Besides covering it up, and you can leave it in somewhere in your kitchen till it rises, or you can put it in the refrigerator till the next day or later.
Okay, then if you're just going to, let's say that you're going to have them for dinner that night, would you just cover it, like they do, like with a warm, wet towel, and then walk away, or how would you do that?
The way I watched them in many restaurants over the years, and they had them in a container covered, and that makes them rise very nice. But I found out over the years you don't have to be that careful with your dough and everything, because I've got a lid to fit this, and I just cover it up, and most time I make 2 batches.
Yeah.
And I freeze them. They freeze real well, and you can give them to friends or get them out as you need them.
Wow, okay.
And the most I ever made, I've made them many years. I made 400 for Bill DeGuire's lovely daughters sit down after wedding.
Oh my goodness gracious. That's a lot of rolls.
Now I'll cover that and either bake them after a while or put them in the refrigerator.
Well, okay, now if I'm going to freeze them, do you freeze, you just pinch them off and freeze them in dough?
No, you bake them.
Bake them and then you freeze them.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you wouldn't hardly bake them quite as much. Well, you can, but you can always put them back. And they do better warmed up in the oven, I think. Some people like them in a microwave, but to me, that makes it different.
It changes the way that they are on the inside, the texture of it a little bit.
Okay, that's it. I need that spatula in there.
Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, guys, we are back, and Pearl is dumping out this dough. How long do we let it rise there, Pearl?
If it's warm, an hour.
Okay.
And sometimes if it's cold weather and your house is not warm,
Yeah.
it takes longer.
Okay.
I used to, you can edit this or not.
It's okay.
I made them for the church for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
We fed the Rotary.
Right.
It was a wonderful money maker for the ladies, and I made the rolls. And in the summertime, I'd stir them up at home, and the time I got to church, it was ready to roll out.
Well, you'll have those extras. Okay. Okay, Pearl. So tell us, while you're doing this, tell us about this $1 million pie that you're talking about.
Okay, it's so simple and so good, especially in the summertime.
Yeah.
You buy your 2 graham cracker crust, of course, or you can make your own, like I do often.
Mm-hmm.
And you take a can of Eagle brand milk,
Okay.
12 ounces of Cool Whip, drain a can of crushed pineapples. The sweetened Knolls are really good.
Yeah.
D-O-L-E-S.
Yeah.
And how many pecans you want? It says a half a cup, but I usually put more than that. And then you mix all that together. And what you do, and here's where Bob Harper comes in. He softens my lemons. And I've got an old-fashioned thing you get the lemon juice out with,
Yeah.
and strain it, of course. Now, if you want to use canned lemons or something, you're not going to get the same pie.
Oh, really? Okay.
And when you get everything mixed up except the lemon juice sets the pie.
Okay.
And put it in the refrigerator and eat it when you want to.
Wow. So
Easy.
it probably takes just 5 minutes to whip it all together.
Get it all ready and it's done.
And it makes, those ingredients make 2 pies.
Two
Wow.
nice pies.
Okay. Well, everybody will have to try that. That's easy. Especially now that summer's winding down a little bit.
Well,
Everybody's starting to look forward to fall now, so that would be a
I
good
made it
last
in the winter
minute.
too.
Well,
But
good
most
food
of
is
it-
good food at any time of the year, that's for sure.
And that's that, Miss Kelly Jo.
That sounds awesome.
I don't know nothing around here.
Well, that's okay. Everybody's got a purpose there. Even that little bit of dough will be one last little roll.
A real crazy roll.
Yeah, we'll make him a little twist there. He'll be the fun one.
And that's it. As Caden says, I'm done.
I'm done. That's all there is to it. So like you said, these will sit for about an hour.
Until they rise, yes.
And then they're ready for the oven?
It's hard to tell, maybe 20 minutes on 400, according to your oven.
Okay.
Seems like my oven's kind of slow. That's it.
Well, all right.
No, we want hot dogs, right?
Right. And so you can just really brown them to just whatever floats your
Well,
boat, right?
I had to turn my roller on, on mine.
Okay. Because some people like them more brown than others. But like you said, if you're going to freeze them, you won't make them quite so brown, right? Okay.
Because they're better warmed up in the oven, I think.
Right.
In the reason I had to check that yeast seemed like these didn't rise as well.
Well, they look wonderful. And of course, I tested one when I got here that was from a previous batch that you made. And this is Pearl Harper's legendary rolls, and I'm telling you, they will make you turn cartwheels. I love this little pinch up on the side. It's almost like a signature thing, but it also makes it good to, you can cut into it right there to that slit and put that butter in there. Oh my gosh.
And
Pearl,
I borrowed it from some good women at church. I cooked one time for 15 boys, foster boys.
oh wow.
This evening meal.
Yeah.
Carolyn and Okie Jackson had the home. And I love to cook and they love to eat, and we got along real good.
Do you remember what you made? What'd you make for them?
Well, mostly it would be what we would get stuff from the Rural Harvest, not Rural Harvest, the Second Harvest.
Second Harvest Food Bank.
We'd go once a month, and over a period of time.
So it wasn't a one-time thing, you did it a few times.
Gradually we would have a good pantry. Of course, we'd buy milk and bread, and often we'd buy meat. But over a period of time, we had a real good pantry, and they loved everything. And there was two things that I learned: just give them a big bowl and say, that's it. That was a taco salad, or they loved a shelf salad. And when I'd heap it up and tell them that's it. Because if I didn't, out of 15 boys, the first ones would be back in line. I got them up in the morning. I stayed a few times while Carol and Okie went on vacation, and Bob and I would. And how I would get them up, I'd make syrup, put a little maple flavoring in it. That smell to get them out of bed.
My goodness, Pearl, thank you so much. We appreciate this, and there's nothing in the world like this. I'm just super excited that everybody in our audience is going to get to see you. And thank you so much for writing decades and decades and decades, from writing Spiritually Speaking, and so many people have just been blessed by that, including me.
Well, that is one of the biggest parts of my life. And it's something I've always felt a dedication to do.
Yes, and you're wonderful at it.
And when you think about it, I'm not comparing myself to the Lord, but He taught and He fed.
There you go. You're following in some good footsteps. And I was going to look for Bob to say goodbye, but Bob's over there probably rolling his eyes at us right now, isn't he? All right. Thanks everybody for watching. And bye, Pearl. Thank you again.
Thank you
for letting us come in your kitchen.